Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 80. Take a week off and look what happens. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 84 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, October 23rd, 2021, and I'm back after I took about a week off, almost 2 weeks off. If you've been following, I had surgery on my trigger finger on the 6th of October. All the big bandaging and dressing, I took all that off on Monday, the following Monday, which was the 11th, 13th? I don't know, the Monday, 5 days after I had the surgery. And I posted a video of that on my channel. And then after I had the first week off, or the first 5 days, then I had to I had to keep it clean, the incision clean and dry. So what I did after that was I had a piece of gauze packing on the inside of my hand, and I had a tensor bandage or an ace bandage wrapped around it. And it was still fairly tender, quite sore, and I wasn't able to do any knitting. I got the stitches off this past Tuesday, the 19th of October, and I'm back at it. I am back to the knitting, thank goodness. So the stitches came out in the morning, and I cast on a new cast on that afternoon, or that evening. So I didn't wait long. But what I did was I cast on for the Ross hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Ross Rochester. And I wanted to cast on something relatively straightforward, relatively simple, because I wasn't sure what my mobility and tension would be like, and how my hand was going to be cooperating. It's still not 100%. It's still healing. There's still quite a bit of swelling. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end, and I'll show you in case you're interested in seeing, but I'll try not to show it too much because some people don't want to really see a wound like this, although it doesn't look very bad at all anymore. So I cast on the Ross hat, and I thought it's a worsted, well, DK, I'm not 100% sure what the weight of the yarn is. I'll show you in just a second. But I wasn't 100% sure of the weight of the yarn, so I kind of guessing it somewhere between, it's housed in my Fringe Supply field bag. It's probably a sport to DK weight, maybe a little bit on the light worsted weight. So here we go. This is a yarn, it's called Gala Mix Fiber. It's a yarn I bought when we lived up in Maine in a store called Marden's. And it's a surplus store that has all kinds of weird and wonderful things there. Love that. I miss that store so much. But they had these skeins of yarn on for 99 cents a skein, and I bought a bunch. I have quite a few of this particular colorway still left, and I've knit, I think I knit my husband a pair of sport weight socks with these, like house socks that he wore to death, and I still have several skeins, so I thought I'll try that. I'll use this it's a 50-gram ball of yarn. I'll see if that's enough to make a hat or if I have to break into a second skein. We shall see. It's the tag is on top of the label. Thanks. It's a polyester acrylic kind of blend thing, but it's a pretty color combination. So the hat, I forget what size are these needles? Size 6, US 6 or 4mm needle. So I've cast on and I've almost finished the ribbing. I think I probably have 2 more rounds of the ribbing left to go. And then it's just straight stocking it until you get to the crown decreases and it's done. So I thought this would be something good to try first to see if my gauge and my tension and things like that had gone wonky, or were still a little bit wonky. So that's as far as I am. I cast this on later in the day on Tuesday after I got the stitches out. I couldn't wait any longer. And the doctor did say I have to be working my hand because there's still some inflammation. He gave me instructions if I can't make a proper fist, which I cannot quite yet do. I can't make like a tight fist like with this hand. I can't quite do that. So I have to keep practicing that. And I figure knitting is probably also a good thing to do, to work the hand and exercise the hand. So if I don't get it back up to full use within a week or so, he wants to see me again. He wants to send me to occupational therapy. So I don't really want to do that route. I'd rather get it working on my own. So a lot of the time I'm sitting here clenching and unclenching my hand. But it is still quite swollen through especially this part of my finger and also the ball of my hand here. This finger's between 1/4 and 1/2 inch bigger than this finger. So it still has a ways to go to finish healing. So, don't pull that out. So that's my Ross hat. I'm working on that kind of off and on right now. But in the meantime, since that went well on Thursday, or was it Wednesday? No, I think on Thursday. I was pretty busy all day Wednesday and Wednesday evening. So on Thursday, I finally got to start and cast on my Stephen West Shawlography Mystery Knit Along. Now I'm way behind. Clue number 1 came out on Friday the 8th of October, so 2 days after I had surgery, so there was no way I was going to be able to do any knitting. With the way my hand was bandaged up and packed up, there was just, I had no use of my left hand for the first 5 days. And then gradually was able to do a few more things for the following week. But I finally cast on Thursday evening. Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. I had a bunch of work things to get done on Thursday, so I held off and cast on Thursday. And it's coming along slowly. Clue 3 has already come out, and I'm still working on clue number 1. I will not catch up. I will not catch up, and I will not be knitting along with everyone else at the same pace, and I'm fine with that. It is what it is. Life and my hand got in the way. But I have cast on, and I am loving it so far. I will admit I have looked at the spoiler pictures for clue number 2 and clue number 3, just because I'm so far behind that I don't care. I'll look at the spoilers because a lot of it's already revealed. So I thought I'm okay with that. I'm okay with seeing the spoilers. But for this one, I'm using Holst Super Soft, and I will give you a warning before I actually show what I've knit so far. I will give you a warning in case you're one of those few people that's even farther behind than I am and you have not yet started and don't want to see the spoilers. I will give you a warning when to look away and and I'll put a little timestamp when it's safe to come back. But I haven't, I won't show it quite right away. What I will do is I'm going to show you the yarn I'm using. So I'm using Holst Super Soft, and I made a slight change in the colors I had originally planned on using. I had originally planned on, I had the light, medium, and dark purpley colors, and I had this cream color, and then as my fifth color I had a darker beigey color. And once I saw the first clue, I thought, they're too similar. I wasn't happy with that choice, and I couldn't figure out which ones to choose for A, B, then C, D, and E to figure out my colors. So I went through some of my other whole super soft that I have in my stash, and I found this pink that coordinates beautifully, I think, with the purples, and it goes well with this. So I changed out the color. I had the color straw, and I changed it to this color. And this was one I used in Slipstravaganza. It was one of the, how many colors were in there? 4 colors. This was one of the colors I had in Slipstravaganza. So I still had almost 2 full skeins of this, or 2 balls of this available. So this is my color A. This is geranium. This is my color B, which is lather. And then C, D, and E. So this one is sweet pea, this one is damask, and this one is plum. So those are the colors I'm using and the combination I have. And I do like that this is the pop of color. Because I didn't really have, when I had the 2 beigey brown colors, I didn't have a pop of any sort. So this one really, really fits that bill. So I'm really happy with that choice. So I'm glad I had almost 2 full skeins of that, so I'll have plenty of yarn. I have enough to do, enough of that to have pulled it in as my 5th color and swapped out one of the colors I had originally ordered. So those are the yarns I'm doing. I'm using the recommended needle size, which was a 3.25, I believe. Is that what it was? I think so. Yeah, US 4 or 3.5. So that's what I'm using for my needle size, and the whole super soft for my yarns. So I'm going to show the little teeny bit of progress that I have now. So if you are even farther behind than I am, and you don't want to don't want to see a spoiler of what the very first part of the pattern looks like, you can look away, and I will put a timestamp here when it's safe for you to come back and look again. So if you don't want to see Shawlography, the first part of the first clue, look away and come back at this time later on. So here is what I have so far. It's not much. I think it goes this way. So I don't have much. I've got, was it step 1? Section 1. So that was this part. I originally used the darkest purple for this one, and I wasn't happy with that because I didn't know how I was going to mix and match the other when I had the 2 brown or beige colors. So I switched to the geranium for my pop of color. And I have 4 of the 9 wedges complete now. So you can see I have all 5 colors are playing together here. So this is the lightest purple, so that's my color C. This is color A, the pink, and then D and E, so the light, the medium, and the dark purple. So that's where I am now. I don't have a lot of it done. Like I say, I have 4 out of the 9 little wedges are done. So now it's going to continue. It'll go light purple, pink, medium, and dark purple, and then one more light purple at the end. In hindsight, if I'd been looking at this differently, I would have put the pink, I would have had the pink go here in the middle and at the end, and then done, so I've gone pink, light, medium, dark purple, then pink, light, medium, dark purple, and then one more pink. But this is fine. I am not gonna, I'm so far behind now, I am not gonna undo this little bit to change up the order. I think it still looks fantastic. So I'm really excited to keep knitting on this. If you've looked away and didn't want to see my progress on that, it's safe to look back now because I put it aside. I'm having so much fun with this. I wished I had been able to start when everyone else did, but such is life, and that's fine. So I have the rest of the wedges to finish, and then section 3 and 4 on the first clue. So that's only section 2. I'm not quite halfway through section 2. And I think there's 4 sections to clue 1. And then there's all of clue 2, and then clue 3. So at this rate, I'm hoping I can have it all done by Christmas. But even that, I'm not holding my breath on, as I'll explain in just a little bit. So I'm hoping to have, when I come back and see you guys in a week, I'm hoping I at least have clue 1 and 2 finished, or more, but we shall see. I really am hoping I can get this done in the next 6 weeks or so. So that's been the extent of my knitting. I have really been taking it slow and easy with it. I'll knit for a little while, and then I will stop and rest my hand. And resting the left hand after surgery, and then also keeping tabs on the right thumb, which is also shot. So as I said, the surgery and the healing process has gone fantastic. The surgeon, I saw him this past Tuesday to get the stitches out, and he's really happy with how the incision has healed. He thinks it looks fantastic. He thinks it's healing beautifully. He is a little bit concerned that I need to really push to get the mobility back in my hand. Like I say, I can't quite make a full fist, but I keep practicing that a lot. If you are curious, I will show you the incision and the healing process. It's looking really good. If you don't want to see that, just look away for just a few minutes, because I'll just show it quickly. So if you don't want to see it, look away, and I'll let you know when it's safe to look again. It'll just be for probably less than a minute. So that's where it's at right now. So it's looking good. The healing process is coming along nicely. I'm able to keep it open. It doesn't really hurt. It's safe to look now. I'm not showing you my boo-boo anymore. It feels not bad. Yesterday was the first day I drove my car since the day before my surgery. So when I had the bandaging on, I didn't want to drive when I still had, before the stitches came out, I didn't want to drive because I didn't want, it was still pretty tender, and I still had wrapping on it and bandaging on it. So I just wasn't comfortable driving. So once the stitches came out, I thought it was okay. And I didn't have the chance to, I wasn't going anywhere that I was driving on Wednesday or Thursday. So yesterday was the first time I actually drove my car. The husband's been driving until just yesterday, and then I did the driving yesterday. So the healing's coming along well. Again, he wants me to keep working on the mobility. It's still a lot of swelling. Like I had mentioned earlier, this finger around this knuckle here is quite swollen still. It's still pretty puffy compared to my right hand. So I'm hoping the swelling continues to come down quite a bit in the next fairly short little while, and that I'm able to get more mobility in here. Because I'm like I say, I'm still not able to make a proper fist in here, but I keep practicing. And when I talked to the surgeon on Tuesday, he has tentatively scheduled me in to have the same surgery on the trigger finger or the trigger thumb on my right hand. We are tentatively scheduled for December 1st this year to get the surgery on this hand. The timing on that works well for me because I'm heading into the home stretch of the school semester. At that point, I will only have 1 week of classes left, which is mostly just review and the final exam. Because with this wrapped up for the full wrapping for 5 days and then bandaging, I'm going to be out of commission more so than when I had surgery on my left hand because I'm right-handed. So I'll be even more, like I say, more out of commission for the first couple weeks when the right hand gets done. So as long as all the healing is well underway and I have full, complete use of this hand before I do this hand. So once I hit the 1st of December, knitting's going to be out the window again for a good couple weeks while I heal from the second surgery. The other advantage is that it gives me the whole Christmas break. I won't be back to classes until I think the 10th of January. So I just have to make it through a week, a little over a week or week and a half of classes and final exam after the thumb surgery. But so if it was on the 1st, I probably won't get the stitches out until I think it was around the 15th, 13th of December. Whatever the Tuesday is, the second Tuesday after the surgery. Yeah, because it's almost 2 weeks after the surgery, then they take the stitches out. Yeah, almost 2 weeks. So that's what's coming up. The other advantage is that if I get it done in December, I'll still be in the same calendar year with my insurance. So this will go, I'll have a smaller amount to pay towards the deductible on my insurance plan. If it doesn't get done until January, then I'll be paying a lot more towards my deductible in January than I would be in December, as this surgery took care of a good chunk of the deductibles. So I would like to get it done in December also for that reason, because it just makes it a little, well, not so much easier, but it's better financially. Just drinking just like some juice crystal stuff. So that's where I am hand-wise. So, and also since I had done nothing for last Saturday, I really had nothing to show you. And I still had the stitches in my hand and bandaging on. And it was too awkward to figure out how to sort through and show you some of my yarn or some of the books and things like that. So I just took last Saturday off doing a podcast. So otherwise, I think that's the extent of all the news around here. I'm back to knitting. I'm slowly picking up the pace. I have not touched my Sunday cardigan. I have no interest in getting mohair fluffies caught or hung up on some slightly rougher edges around where the healing is and where the stitches were and things. And I've also not done anything with my Halloween socks. I kind of wanted to stay away from switching and working on the Halloween socks in case there's a change in how I'm tensioning the yarn. And I don't want to have a difference, any noticeable difference in my gauge on a pair of socks. At least if I'm doing with Shawlography, I'm starting with, if my tension is wonky, it'll be wonky all the way through. So I'll start wonky and then it should stay much the same the rest of the way. So that's about it for anything new or interesting or exciting around here. We'll see how much I get done on Shawlography. I suspect I'll do a little bit of work on the hat in the next week, but the bulk of my free knitting time in the next week is going to be on Shawlography. And again, I'm hoping by next Saturday I will have clue 1 and 2 complete. I'm hoping. That's what I'm pushing for, but we shall see. We shall see. If I'm really fortunate, I might get to clue 3, but I'm not holding my breath on that. I suspect I'll only I'm hoping to get to the end of clue 2. stay tuned in a week and see if I get there. Alrighty, so I'm gonna quit nattering now. I'm gonna go get the editing done here, see if the hubby's coming home from work soon, because there's a food truck just across the street. They do barbecue, pulled pork. Oh, it's so good. So he's gonna stop there on his way home from work and pick up supper for us. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's 3:45. By the time he's coming home from work, we're about ready for early supper. We had breakfast, just had a breakfast sandwich around 10, and I didn't bother with anything for lunch. So I'll be getting hungry. If he's home in the next half hour, 45 minutes, it'll be perfect timing for supper. So alrighty, I'm gonna shut up now and let you guys go. Alright, take care and we'll see you next week. Bye.